Evening. I'd like to call to order the Women's Commission for Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. Um, Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Gabby Maxman. Here. Adrian Tissier.
Here.
Natasha Otto. Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Our next order of business is the approval of the minutes of the August 28, 2025 meeting. If you want to take a second, they should be right in your packet. They're pretty compact.
I'll move that we approve the minutes.
Okay, we've got a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, we have oral comments. I don't see anybody rushing to the podium, so we will move on from there. And we're bringing ourselves right up to communications. So we have a guest with us today, Debbie. I'm not even going to try to murder your last name, but you can say it. She's going to be our facilitator for our Women's Commission retreat on November 9th. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Debbie Schechter. I am a facilitator and conflict resolution specialist. I have my own firm, Schechter Consulting. My work is primarily with government agencies, so state, federal, and local. I've done a lot of work in San Mateo County for the county and for the cities within the county, facilitating retreats, facilitating community meetings on a wide range of issues. I recently facilitated a retreat for the county's Commission on the Status of Women, and I think that's how you all heard about me, and so super excited to be able to work with you all and your new Women's Commission. I live in San Mateo, so I definitely have an interest in what goes on in our county, and as I said, excited to work with you all.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I'm going to let you go ahead and kick off your...
Okay, did you
side of
want to
things.
say anything about the retreat first, or should I just walk through this? Okay, all right, so you all filled out a survey that I sent to you to get your thoughts on the commission, your interests, and what you want to get out of the retreat. And so I compiled the results, so wanted to share those with you. Next slide, please. So the first question was about strengths, expertise, and interests. And 4 of you filled this out. So this just shows kind of a wide range of expertise and strengths, which is really interesting. So I think that should help you all as a commission to have that diversity. And some of the interests that you all listed are also listed here, so wide range of interests, all kinds of issues facing women and immigrants, gender and sexuality, community participation, and equality. Next slide, please. So I asked what information, resources, and support you felt were needed for the commission to operate and what time you had available. And these are some of the things that I heard. I think pretty much everyone wanted to have a clear vision, goals, and understand the expectation and boundaries around your work, so what you can and can't do. One person was interested in seeing the demographics of women in Daly City. At least a couple of people wanted to know what resources or tools the city has available for you to use, so budget, staff time, whatever else. And then a couple of you wanted to know what issues have been addressed by other women's commissions that could inform your work. And then there was a range of time available, everywhere from 2 to 10 hours per month, that would include meetings and the expectation of some time outside of meetings to complete tasks or to do outreach. The top priorities, and this was the first three were pretty consistent across everybody, that you want to know about the needs and issues faced by women in Daly City, that you want to develop a strategic plan and a work plan, that you want to produce something impactful. And then the last two were some specific ideas that a couple of folks had. Creating a pathway to help women create businesses was a specific interest of one person, and then having a speaker series on issues important to women was another idea. So I asked what would make the retreat a success, and this was pretty consistent across all of you. Wanting to have a path forward or work plan or action plan on 2 or 3 issues, understanding what you all can accomplish as a commission and how you can work together, and then getting better connected to your fellow commissioners. So the retreat, I think those are all doable things for a retreat, to get to know each other better, understand what you all can do, and really come up with a couple of key priorities. Beyond that, there might be some follow-on work that you'll need to do to really identify some specific actions around those priorities, but I think that we'll have time to get started on figuring out the priorities, what they entail, and then maybe some initial actions.
And the date for the retreat is Sunday, November 9th. We're still working out the time frame.
It looks like about 4 hours. Yeah, and it's nice that you all have such a small group. I think it'll be, you'll be able to interact with each other and hopefully get a lot done in that. Even though it's a short period of time, it's a small group, so you should be able to accomplish more. So any questions or comments about the survey or anything that you want to make sure we do at the retreat?
Well, a couple things we talked about earlier was if we do it from 10 to 2, which was the original timing, we're still working on that, but I think that's pretty rough what it should be, is that we try to say, if you want to come have coffee and something beforehand, come around 9:30, 1:45, so we can actually start at 10, because I think there's going to be a lot to cover, plus we have lunch in the middle, so, we want to make this fruitful and, have somewhat of a game plan when we walk away. We don't want to have to keep doing that part over and over again. And at first I said, well, maybe we should make it a working lunch, but then Debbie brought up the fact that, it might be a great time for us to get to know each other better. We've met each other, but it's always kind of been in this setting. It's not sort of a one-on-one or two-on-two or whatever. So that, and there might be an opportunity in the beginning to maybe introduce ourselves again and reintroduce and talk a little bit more about ourselves. And I don't know if you knew, but Elle has left the board. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately with her work schedule and some of the other group she's on, it just wasn't working. As you noticed, she couldn't come to a couple of them. So we're down to 4, but depending on, I believe she was Jocelyn's appointment, so depending on that, we may have a 5th person, which is all the more reason we'd want to spend a little more time together. And if not, at some point we'll have to incorporate the next person coming through. But and then one of the questions that happened, one of mine, obviously I think somebody else must ask it too, about the different women's commissions. And I specifically mentioned the Commission on the Status of Women, just curious some of the things they worked on or came up with in their retreat. And we talked a little bit about, you mentioned one, I didn't bring my notes with me, but I know one of the things we talked about with Rosie Tejada was that listening tour, which she's been doing. And then you were talking about something else one of the things you remember they did the time.
Yeah, they did a big report called Fund the Future, which is about the priorities for women in the county, which has to do, I think, primarily with, I think it has to do with pay equity and financial kind of acumen, and then the other one has to do with childcare. I believe those were the two, but they could tell you more. So, yeah, what we had talked about briefly was the idea of having someone from that commission come and just say a little bit about the work they've done. They've done a lot in the last few years that could maybe inform your work. So maybe a short presentation on that and opportunity for you all to ask some questions and learn about how they've worked.
And we were talking about possibly even their staff person that because she's been around probably longer than, not all the commissioners kind of rotate, so there might be a little bit more substantial, if she can make it. I mean, it's might be a difficult day for people, but if she can, that'd be great. If she can't, maybe we can do that another time, or, some of us can sit down with her or something and just sort of glean sort of the path they've had maybe over the last 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know how, I'm not sure how long they've been around. I don't know that it's been
Oh, you don't know?
10 years, but
Yeah.
it's probably been 5.
Okay, well, that's still a good chunk of time.
But yeah,
And now they have a member from Daly City now that they didn't have before. Rosie had said had come on board, so that might be a good introduction for us as well. And I had mentioned that we were gonna try to get to their listening session that they're gonna have in North County, if we can, and that'd be great. That's kind of the things we tried to go over earlier today, just to make sure we get any kind of feedback that you might have. But if everybody's comfortable with what's been presented so far, okay, I think we're good.
Yeah, I feel like my thoughts were well represented, so
Mhm.
no question.
Okay. Now, it's just so you have it,
So,
she sent this to us today, and I
Yes,
know
I've seen
you
it.
probably weren't able to get it if you,
I got it this morning.
oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was gonna say, it was nice to have so I could follow it, and then you might want to go back and review it before the thing, so we kind of remember all those things going into it.
The only thing that I'll add, since she said that her thoughts were well represented, is that I didn't feel like mine were. In the interest they were, but in terms of experience, I don't think any of those were mine. Now, again, it could have been on me and I didn't really put in enough effort, but I feel like I answered all the questions, but I didn't see any of mine in there.
in the whole thing?
In specifically in experiences that we bring to the table. I don't think any of those experiences were my experiences.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No,
You
it's
wanna
a-
share just briefly?
I don't remember what my
Oh, okay.
experiences are, but I feel like all of those experiences were experiences of, let's say, progressive activists. And I am not that I'm not progressive, but I just didn't see myself represented in that, which is fine. I don't necessarily need to be, but if it's being used for something, I want to make sure that that I'm on there as well.
Look back at
Yeah.
the responses I received and I can.
I could have given crappy responses that were not worth putting
doubt
up
that.
there.
I doubt that.
I don't know.
And that's really just sort of when you say if it's gonna be used, I think it's really just for you all to see. If it's not reflective, then that's important. I mean, it should be reflective, but I also think that there will be plenty more opportunity, like Adrian was saying at the retreat, where you can share that kind of thing, and so hopefully that will be more meaningful.
Yeah, and I think if you filled out the form, you might want to bring it with you, and if there's something you want to express, because we're going to be going through these topics, and then you can
Yeah.
share, or even when we do our one-on-ones, if you want to share things with people, and that'd be great.
And I appreciate you sharing that.
I mean, only because Natasha's like, oh, I'm represented. So
Yeah.
I didn't know I don't know if on all slides, but I just meant for the goals slide.
yes, goals, 100%. I think the goals and the things, and I think we've talked about it before. I think more or less we're pretty aligned on what we think our goals are and the way that we're thinking about the tools that we need to be able to achieve the goals. So I think in that sense, that's why I'm sort of like, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay, but thank you for it.
Yeah.
It's always good to get feedback.
Okay, if there are no other comments, we can move on to the Top of the Hill Festival, the update on that.
Yes, so the Top of the Hill Festival is this Saturday, October 18th, 11 to 6, if anyone can make it. And we will have a table for the Human Resources Department that's going to have a survey for the Women's Commission. So in your packets, there is a QR code. So we'll have this available at the table, and if it links to this survey, so you can see what we're asking the community. So we'll have some information in time for the retreat on November 9th, at least from the community as well. So we can have that discussion too with your priorities and goals as well as the community's interest.
So can I ask a question? So if they scan the QR code, this is what they get?
Yes.
Are you going to have any of these there if somebody just wants to go ahead and fill it out?
We can have them printed
I mean,
as
some
well.
people might not, some people aren't as astute on the QR codes and stuff, so they might just want to take that sheet and fill it out if they have a couple of
Yeah.
quick comments.
Yeah, definitely. We can have the hard copies.
Is it possible to have this translated at least into Tagalog and Spanish?
Yeah, I think that we can. We have some translators in the office of the city manager that can help with that.
And then if there are extras, I'd love to like tape some up around the neighborhood, just like on bulletin boards
Oh, yeah.
and things, or in the libraries. And then for the survey itself, I'm wondering if it would not be more, I don't know how useful emails and names are for us, like as far as maybe we want to develop a mailing list or something, but for quickness, maybe I think 3 is an easy one, and then 4, if other people think maybe there are just like some options we can populate and then leave an other space. Like I don't know if there are like what those options would be of like issues, but I feel like open-ended sometimes people are like, well, I don't know what to even think might be. I don't know. That just I've noticed sometimes when I have open-ended I get less useful
Responses.
answers.
So an option like a drop-down menu with some examples of different priorities.
Or just like bubbles. I don't know if maybe
Like financial stability, pay equity, childcare.
things
I don't know,
we
some of
maybe
the-
brought up in that resource list conversation.
And then an other for people to fill out.
Yeah, with also an area if they have some other things
of
they want
course.
to put in, yeah.
I'd also say I don't like all of these are required, and to Natasha's point around like speed and people's skittishness, maybe if we don't make like we'll leave email but make it not required, might get more people to fill it out. Cause yeah.
Or maybe leave them in and just put not required. And some
But
people,
that's what I mean, leave it, but
Yeah,
just
but
just
just
that it
instead of
take off the, because if it has the red asterisk, it means it's a required question.
Or like if you want
They
to
would
stay
do the daily
involved,
What's that?
put your email or something.
but I would keep the Daly City resident one included.
Yeah,
'cause
I think that
otherwise-
that's important,
Yeah.
especially for events like this where you might have people out of town. We don't want it.
Yeah.
We want everybody's interests, but we're more concerned about the interests of people who live here.
And I think the idea around having the email to begin with was if they are a Daly City resident, then we have some contact information to, if we need to reach out again. But we
Yeah.
can definitely make it not required.
I would love for people to fill out their email information, but in case they don't want to, then they can still fill everything else out.
Right. Yeah, so we'll make those adjustments.
Awesome.
Okay. So the question I have, unfortunately, I'm out of town this weekend, but is anybody planning on being there? Or-
I'll be there. I wanted to offer to volunteer, but unfortunately we'll be parenting solo, so I can't help in an official capacity. But we'll be cruising. I saw the map during BPAC. It looks, I like that it's expanded from last year.
It's much larger.
Where did it expand to? Is it going down Mission Street further south?
Towards War Memorial, it's expanded
is?
that direction.
Oh. What happens to the bank in their hours till noon? I guess they're
I
going
don't know
to
if it goes all the way to the bank. The bank at the corner of.
Tri-county?
Tri-Counties, yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think.
Well, you know what? We don't have to worry about it. Somebody else is doing logistics, so I'm sure they've checked with some of the businesses to
Yes,
see.
thought about that.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably aren't parking there, so go,
Parking will be
obviously the
difficult.
businesses were open on the sidewalk at the last one, so they'll probably still be open. It might be harder for them to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, the parking, if anyone needs shuttles, Jefferson High School and City Hall, the shuttles will be rotating to bring everyone to the top of the hill.
Nice.
Okay. I'm wondering, oh, you did send this to everybody. I was going to say.
Yeah. We got
Okay,
it.
So they got that for everybody, so even though one of us are missing, but still got all of that. That's great. Okay.
Is the county commission going to have any sort of presence at top of the hill?
I didn't see them listed on the resource tables. I mean, they might be there in support, but I didn't see them on the list.
I wonder if, because I don't know when they're having their county-specific outreach, but if they're having one soon, maybe we could offer those flyers or something on behalf of them. But I don't remember. They said soon, but I don't know.
They
how
said,
soon.
well, she said for the North County it was February.
Oh, that's a little ways away. Never mind.
At least that's what I recall.
Yeah, I think it's February, and so since that was further out, we wanted to do something at least to get some input from the community in the meantime.
Okay, anything else or any other questions on the Top of the Hill event? Okay, then we can move on to the reports. Are there any commissioners' reports on anything?
No.
No. Okay, staff, anything else? Okay, well then, we are adjourned. And you'll get more things out about the retreat and all the details and all that, okay. And so far, everybody can make it? All four of us? Okay, great, that's good.
said Sunday the 9th, time TBD, but 4 hours middle.
Probably 10 to 2-ish, maybe 9:30 if you want coffee, 9:45. I know. And I would hope there'd be something sweet to go with that.
A little something.
A little something, something.
Sorry again for being late.
All right, ladies, see you later.